Your help. Where are you going?
I intend to enjoy the time I have left, and I suggest that you do the same. Life is precious. Enjoy every single second. You never know when. Good luck.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Movie Buffer, and tonight we are going to be reviewing Final Destination Bloodlines. Final Destination Bloodlines is a 2025 American supernatural horror film directed by Lipovsky and Adam Stein, with a screenplay by Busick and Laurie Evans Taylor. It is based on a story by Jon Watts, Busick, and Evans Taylor. As the sixth film in the Final Destination series, it features Kaitlyn Santa Juana as Stefani, a college student who inherits her grandmother's visions of a past premonition that prevented a deadly skyscraper collapse in 1969. Her grandmother warns her that death is coming for their family. The cast also includes Teo Briones, Richard Harmon, Owen Patrick Joyner, Anne Lore, Brec Bassinger, and the late great Tony Todd. The film received the highest praise in the franchise. On Rotten Tomatoes, it received 93% of 223 critics' reviews are positive, with the consensus stating, quote, adding some surprising emotional depth to the ghoulish mythology of Final Destination, Bloodlines skillfully executes gruesome set pieces with precision and transforms impending doom into outrageous fun, end quote. Will the franchise continue? Stein noted that the narrative potential remains open-ended, stating, quote, death work is never done. There are always more scores to settle, end quote. He acknowledged, though, that the creative process takes several years. Perry also expressed openness to continuing the franchise, noting that Bloodlines has expanded the creative flexibility of the series. Now, my review. I really enjoyed this movie. As a fan of the Final Destination series, I have to agree with Rotten Tomatoes that this is the best installment thanks to its writing and emotional depth. I connected with each character. The story of Paul and Iris was particularly beautiful, romantic, and filled with nostalgic love. Their brief tale introduced the rest of Iris's family, making me care about the other characters who are part of her bloodline. Iris has a vision, as in the previous films, predicting a tragic death for everyone. She prevents the tragedy, saving many people, especially Tony Todd's character BJ as a child. They become friends over the years and work together to outsmart death. Because Iris saved so many lives, it took death decades to close the death rift. Now, so this kind of explains the Tony Todd, the BJ Coroner character, because him and Iris had been trying to figure these things out. That's why he knew so much, in all of the movies, because he's been working with Iris all this time to try to figure things out. So he was also trying to help other people as well. And, that kind of answered that question of why did he know so much? And that's why. As for Tony Todd appeared in more than 100 theatrical and television films and played opposite many major Hollywood stars, most notably for Candyman and Final Destination. But for me, my favorite character of Tony is Kern, which is Worf's brother on Star Trek The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. My favorite Klingon even more so than Worf. He also portrayed an adult Jake Sisko in the episode The Visitor in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and was also an Alpha Hirogen in the episode Prey in Star Trek Voyager in 2017. I didn't even realize that was him, but I love that character, and I didn't know why I loved that character so much, and it was because it was Tony Todd. And sometimes with Star Trek, you don't know who it is unless you see the actual actor's name, because the makeup is so heavy. And so yeah, that was really good, and that was really interesting. Todd returned to the world of Star Trek as General Rodek in the MMORPG game Star Trek Online. I wish he had been the Klingon on TNG instead of Worf as a character, and he was just an amazing actor. Now I say I wish he was on there as opposed to Worf, because if you're a Trekkie, you know that they really couldn't get Worf right. I don't know why, but the writing wasn't good. It just wasn't, I don't know what it was. And it even kind of went down to his son, Alexander. It just didn't work, but Tony Todd's character, Kern, he was the ultimate Klingon. And I think he would have did really well as the Klingon on that ship. And maybe they thought, a Klingon like that would overpower the rest of the characters. But I don't think so. I think they could have made it work. But anyway, we did get some great acting in Star Trek from Tony Todd, so that was beautiful. When Tony Todd agreed to star in Final Destination's Bloodlines in 2023, he secretly informed the producers that he had terminal stomach cancer. Consequently, during filming in early 2024, they permitted Todd to improvise the final lines of his character, Mr. Bloodworth, so he could say a meaningful goodbye to the audience. And he says, quote, "Life is precious. Enjoy every single second. You never know when, and good luck." And you never know when is basically, you never know when you're going to die. You think because you're 20 years old that you got another 80 years to go, or 70 to 80 years to go. You may die tomorrow. You may die in a car accident. You may get cancer or something, or you don't know when you're going to die. So don't assume that you're going to die, you have decades to go, because you may not. So you have to live every day as if it's your last, because literally it could be. So that was a beautiful line. I'm so glad he was able to do that. This was a great send-off to Tony Todd, and it brought so many tears to my eyes, because like I said, I loved him in Final Destination. I loved him in Star Trek and Candyman, so he had his own series, so he did a lot. Tony Todd passed away at his residence in Marina del Rey, California on November 6, 2024 at the age of 69. The cause of death, as we stated before, was stomach cancer. Both Bloodlines and Indiana Jones and The Great Circle were dedicated to his memory. So farewell, Tony. See you on the other side, man. This was a great movie. I think if you've never really watched Final Destination, you will enjoy this. But I really think this particular movie in the franchise was truly for the fans, truly a memorial and saying goodbye to Tony. And it was just a different type of movie than the other ones. Now, it did have a lot of gore in it, but it also had a lot of heart and a lot of compassion and a lot of just better depth of writing, I thought, in it. And others thought as well. So this was a great movie with more heart and soul than the others. I did enjoy the first and second movie, are two of my favorites as well, but now they're behind this movie. They also went down a more very simple and basic road. So, have you seen Final Destination Bloodlines? What did you think of the movie? Is this the best one of the series and of the franchise for you? Please let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe to these videos so you'll be the first to get them when I post them. And always, peace, 2 fingers.